Hello traders, yeah, welcome again to Awesome Forex and welcome to the weekly analysis. That's weekend to weekend analysis, and as usual we share analysis on various currency pairs, but mainly free contents they are shared on USDCAD, and also we share free contents on gold, but also we have private analysis. Actually they are shared to specific people in groups. But on YouTube we usually share two kinds of instruments. We share USDCAD and gold. So now I already done analysis on USD, it was on gold, and now I'm going to do the second one on USDCAD. So let us see what we projected last week and what has really happened this week. Then we will see what is expected to happen on the coming week. So now I'm in a weekly time frame. So now zooming this, we can see it clearly, even though things are not so clear because of those wave counts and other things. But mainly on a weekly time frame, I don't have many things to talk here. But mainly I'm going to share a few ideas that are seen here, whereby we had this push to the downside, a very strong push to the downside. And mainly this was wave C, basically based on wave counts. This was wave C, and it was pushing toward this support trend line. Now there was a trend line that supported several times here, so it was pushing toward that line. So our expectations now that price may move and touch this level. It is possible, but sometimes it's not necessary to hit that level. So when we incorporate other things like wave counts, we incorporate things like specific zones, Fibonacci and other things, probably you can have an idea if the price is going to keep on falling toward this trend line, or it may turn around this area, because we have those two rejection now for 2 weeks. It is for 2 weeks. Price has been moving at the same price. It has not traveled far, maybe in upward direction or in downward direction. Always it was consolidating, moving in a sideways. So moving in a sideways, in relation to what is going on here, always we had the first wave, the second, the third wave, the fourth. So this is sideways movement. Generally we can put it as a fourth wave. So fourth wave, usually they are not deep. Always they travel in a sideways, so probably this was the fourth wave. But we'll go to lower time frames to have a clear picture of what is going on here. But now what we're supposed to have in mind is this was the fourth wave, and after completion of this fourth wave, what we expect, the price will fall to complete the fifth wave to the downside in the completion of wave C. So this may happen, always it is possible, but let's go to lower time frames to see exactly what is expected to happen. Now in a daily time frame, we can see this week always the price has been moving in the upside in the first 2 days of the week. In the first 2 days of the week, the price was up, then it kept on moving to the upside on the third day, but it pushed also down, and this was due to the effect of news. We had a certain news release on it was on Wednesday. Now there was a certain news release, always have affected this price movement, where it moved up and down, but it was closed in between the candle. And then now what's important is last week we were expecting that USDCAD it will be buying, but it will have a short correction because we had leading diagonal. The idea here was a leading diagonal. Maybe let me see for hourly time frame. Last week when I was analyzing, always the price was around this area. It was 22nd, yes, around this one, this candle. It was around this candle. So now what we expected was this was an ABC to the upside. So if this was an ABC to the upside, we were expecting the downward move in a correction. Then the last move was expected to be this one, in an idea that this is the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. So we're expecting that after completion of the fifth at this level, now price is going to fall straight to the downside. But now once this was completed, price falling up to this level, whereby at this time we were already sold around this area. We were already sold. We had opened the sell positions. So when the price was pushing up, it affected some of the positions, because it is based on a strategy that you use on controlling your trades. So now it affected some of the trades to some of our fellow traders. Mainly I'm talking about the side of our fellow traders in the house. So it affected some of trades, especially to those who are trading with the small accounts, but for those with the large accounts, we noticed something when the price was kept on moving to the upside. We noticed something whereby we noticed this falling channel. Now this trend line, now it was touched the first time, the second time, and now this was the third time. So what we were expecting here, that price will bounce at this level and then it will move to the downside, but the idea on how long it's going to move, we supposed to incorporate other things. So we incorporated other things to have an idea on what's going to happen. We incorporated other things whereby we had a trend line. Now we have this as a diagonal. I will explain later what's this, but mainly we had a diagonal at this area, we had a diagonal at this area, a diagonal at this area. I mean, we had this line here that was hit the first time here, and the second time was this one. So once it was falling strongly to the downside and broken this, so we were sure that always the downward move has already in control. The downward move has already in control. So now what was taking place now? What was taking place now? We're supposed to adjust things on our wave counts, because this one labeled as the third wave previously was the fifth. Our third wave was around this area, so this was the fifth. So we adjusted because we realized that a clear structure here will be 1 2 3 to the upside, the first thing, then it corrected, then 1 2 3 to the upside, the third thing, then it corrected, then 1 2 3 to the upside, the fifth. So now that was a clear count now. So if this was the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, I mean, it was the 1 3, it means it was the 3 3 3 3. So this was an ending diagonal. This was an ending diagonal, a 3 3 3. So why this was an ending diagonal? It was an ending diagonal because we already had this A. Now 5 waves were completed to complete the third wave to the downside. Then this ABC to the upside, this was the first move, A. Then the ABC to the downside, this was wave B. Basically, because this wave B broken the law of this wave A, so this was an expanding thing. So this was an expanding, in terms of flat, actually call this as an expanding flat, because we have alternative counts whereby this can be considered in a different wave structure, I mean in a different pattern. Now it may not be an expanding flat, but basically in an idea which has met most of the rules and guidelines, basically this can be an expanding flat, whereby this will be wave B. So this was wave C, and usually wave C can take a form of diagonal, and it is clear that this is an ending diagonal that has got a 3 3 3 to the upside. So now after completion of this one, and it was already hit at that level, so this downward move, this is strong downward move, we started to consider it as the first wave. We started to consider this as the first wave. So if this was the first wave, so it was wave 1 in completion of the 5 wave move to the downside. This is wave 1 of now in completion of the 5 wave move to the downside. So this wave 1 now has started, and we have this upward move, the 1 2 3 to the upside, or the ABC to the upside. Now always this one is correction, this one is correction, and ABC is correction. It corrected this one, a very strong downward move. Now it is corrected by this. So how far this is going to correct? Always we can extend this, we can extend our trend line here, we can extend, and we'll find that it hit, now it was broken, it was retested here, and then price bounced to the downside, and it is coming again to that area. So it is retesting for the second time. So now what to expect here, that it has already retested. So if it has already retested, what's expected to happen now? Our price is going to fall strongly to the downside, and it will be falling in a third wave now. It will be falling in a third wave, so it may fall strongly to this area. So that is an observation which meets most of the rules in terms of wave counts. So if it meets most of the rules, so what to expect now? Price has already done the then we have 2 to this area, then we will have 3 at an area, retest will be 4, then 5 to the downside. So we may have this 1 2 3 4 5 to the downside in the coming week in USDCAD. So we can incorporate other things like wave equality, things like Fibonacci and other things to prove now what is expected to happen. So in terms of equality, since the third wave was extended, so the distance traveled by the first wave will be equal, is expected to be equal to the distance traveled by the fifth wave. So now if it is expected to be equal, so simply we can put this, we can measure this simply. Now this is roughly, then we put here, so you will find that exactly it fits to move to around this level. It fits to move to around this level. So that also confirms that price may keep on moving. But another thing, another idea that we can incorporate here is we can measure Fibonacci. We can measure Fibonacci in terms of extension now. Fibonacci extension, whereby we will take this one up to the fifth, the top of the third, to the depth of correction to that area. So we expect the distance traveled by the first wave and the third wave. Now the distance to be traveled by the fifth wave is equal to 0.6. So it is around this 0.6 around this area. So it is expected to travel to around 0.6 of the distance traveled by the first wave and the third wave. So also this confirms that our price may also keep on moving to the downside. And also in terms of whether this correction is will keep on pulling to the upside or it has already completed, we can use a Fibonacci correction or retracement. Now we'll measure retracement. We put it to this area up to that downside, to the peak, to the lowest point there, and now we'll find that this correction has already moved it to around 0.786. so if it is already to 0.768, it is usually a very strong area where price may turn now. There's a very strong power that the price may turn around this area. So now this is in 4-hour time frames. We may expect maybe some minor movement around this area before price leave. And always you have not to take very fast action, maybe selling around this area, because it is playing at two zones. Now it is playing at this trend line, and also we have this trend line. So it is playing around this area whereby it may break them. Now it may break to retest this. You see, now we have this zone here was broken previously there. It was broken previously there and later was retested. So it may come again to retest this one before falling to the downside. So we may have those observations. So we're supposed to wait before we take any selling action in this pair, that is USDCAD. And now where are we going to start maybe selling? Mainly we can start selling if price will move beyond this area and clearly cross below. Now beyond this area, below this area, and then once when it will be retesting, it is where we can sell. And now how long are we going to sell? Usually what we expect is price may move to this area. So your first take profits must be settled within this region. They must be settled within this region. You don't supposed to set beyond them, because price may hit this region and bounce to the upside because it is respected several times. So you set them there, you will take your profits around this area. And also this is in 4 hours. So if you move to lower time frames, you can find it is a little bit a very longer distance, actually very longer distance from this area to this one. Always you can have a very enough profit, maybe a very enough profits. So you can close around this area. But if price will move, breaking this area and now breaking, then retesting, so we can keep on shorting to the downside. Now we can keep on shorting because we expect if price will move and break this, it will have a very strong power to push to at least that area to the downside. So you can also have another entries around this area if this level will be broken. So we have two areas to take our trades. If we have confirmation at this area, we can short, and also if we will travel up this point, we take out we'll close our trades, taking profits. And once it has broken this and retested, we can take other trades now and then complete this to the downside. But remember, the fifth wave is very variable, so it may be truncated or anything else, but what to expect, the price may travel to this level. So now this is just an idea. This is just an idea, so you can have your own analysis. You can put your own analysis and maybe add some confluences. You know, you can have your own factors for analysis, your own factors for entries, so you can just add other things there in order to get confirmations before you get into trades. Because some people, when they hear that, oh, maybe USDCAD is going to sell, probably is going to sell, so mostly they prefer taking trades immediately when the market opens. So that's not good, because you have to wait for confirmations. You have to wait for your own confirmations. You have to put analysis. So for those traders whom we are guiding them step by step, always we tell them what they're supposed to do, at a particular time. So that is our outlook now. That's our market outlook on USDCAD. Now, incorporating with gold, we already have now we have an analysis on gold. So incorporating with analysis on gold, we can find that when gold will be buying, maybe to now this movement to the upside, when gold will be buying to the upside now, always we expect it at the time when USDCAD will be selling. This buy is when USDCAD will be selling. Now, after completion of that selling, now USDCAD will be buying. Now it is when gold will be selling, because they have a negative correlation. So on the basis of correlation, you can put this idea of having those movements to the opposite direction. So this is just a simple confirmations, but remember we use USDCAD, and also we have AUD USD. AUD USD has got positive correlation with the USDCAD. I mean with the gold, has got positive correlation with the gold. That's why we expect the AUD USD, it will rise up shortly, and after rising it will complete that one, and then later it will be falling. So now you can do your own idea on correlation, and we have already done a video on various currency pairs that have positive correlation, negative correlation. So you can watch that video. It was uploaded yesterday. You can watch it on the idea of correlation and how you are going to use that correlation idea in your analysis and making trading decisions. So now, thank you for your time, and also welcome you to Awesome Forex again. Make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like, and also make sure you share this video, and put a comment if you have any suggestion. If you appreciate it, also you can appreciate that maybe you like the video or anything else, or you can advise anything in order to improve our recordings, maybe on basis of what are we using in analysis. If you don't know wave counts, if you don't know maybe trend lines, we incorporate several things in order to make clear to everybody, because not all of people know the wave counts. That's why we can put those trend lines and other things. So we incorporate trend lines, we incorporate zones, those levels and other things in order to make clear to everybody. Then we add wave counts in order to add the confluence for those who have idea about wave counts. So thank you, and welcome again to Awesome Forex.